Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and welcome back to the second series that I will be casting of the Midland Amateur Esports League. Yes, I got it right. It has nothing to do with the name StarCraft. It is the Midlands Amateur Esports League. I got it eventually, right? That's all that counts. This, like I said at the end of our previous series between Exion Spawn and Proficient, no spoilers there. All I'm going to say is at the end of that series, I said that I would be casting Kino versus ExionPure, and you know what, guys? OP delivered, spawning on the bottom left-hand side as our pink Terran player. It is going to be Kino. And spawning on the top right-hand side here on Cloud Kingdom, that is the 1 o'clock position, using his Chrono Boost as per everything usual. That, my friends, is ExionPure, who, if you did not know, came in second place at the most recent LAN for StarCraft 2. So obviously a very, very powerful Protoss player, somebody Kino is going to have to be very careful going up against. I have not seen Kino's play in a very, very long time. I don't know what it looks like per se. So I'm just going to have to kind of wait it out, see exactly what happens. Pure's play, I really guess I can't describe as anything but super, super standard. He just plays his builds cut and dry. You know, this is what I'm going to do every game. I'm going to continue doing it until it finally works, and then I'll shove it down your throat until it kills you. So, I wouldn't expect anything crazy out of Pure. Kino, last I knew, liked to do a lot of drop play, but I mean, that was a long, long time ago. So again, I can't really say too much as to what exactly he'll be doing. One thing to note, though, is he will not be doing a gasless expand, which is by far the most common thing you'll ever see a Terran player do. It's just a 1-Rax gasless expand. So he's going to have that gas there. It looks like he's, I don't know if he's saving up for a reactor, or if he's going to be, okay, there we go, or if he's going to be dropping a tech lab. I can only assume a tech lab, but no, it actually will be a reactor. Looks like there was a little lag for these players. Hopefully, hopefully that doesn't affect the game too much for them. I'm a little surprised to see the reactor, so obviously we're probably going to be seeing a lot of aggression. If it had just been 1-Rax in reactor, I would have actually assumed that he was going to be dropping down to command center and just wanted to do something very, very safe. But in this case, since there is going to be a second Rax, I feel like there's just going to be a lot of Marines coming out on the field. That being said, he is still mining this gas with all 3 harvesters, so I'm a little interested to see exactly where he will be going with this. Over in ExionPure space, we're just seeing a standard opening here, a single gas, getting the getting the warp gate technology, getting the stalkers out on the field. Surprised, where's the zealot? Oh, never mind, there's Zealot. I was gonna say, I'm surprised there's no zealot on the field, but nope, there he is. He's just out across the map already. That stalker will catch up within this marine. Not going to have a good day, and we'll probably see ExionPure move forward with the stalker and. Apparently not the zealot. At least move forward with the stalker. Just kind of get an idea of what exactly is going on. What would he see if he did run out across the map? Well, probably not all that much. He'd kind of poke in here. He'd see that there's a couple of Marines. He'd see that there's no expansion down on the ground. So he'd have to either figure there's an expansion up here or that there's going to be some sort of aggression coming, which it is, of course, going to be the aggression. We know that as the viewers, as Concussive Shells is now on the way with reactor Marines behind it. This is going to be, it's going to be painful for Pure if he doesn't do something fairly quickly with that. Looks like he does have an idea of what's going on because he's laying down a couple of additional racks, actually going up to a total of 4 racks. You do remember how I was saying that we're probably not going to really see all that much gimmicky, you know, unstandard play? Yeah. My bad. We have a proxy robotics facility, which I can only assume is going to either be used for mortals or in a warp prism. My guess is a warp prism here. Now, Pure is going to be able to see this pressure coming out across the map. He does have a fairly decent little amount of defense here. 2 zealots and 2 stalkers is fairly... Where are you going, stalker? Oh gosh, actually these forces now caught a little bit away from any sort of pylon support. Warp gate technology is finished, if I heard that properly. It looks like this is going to be pushed back for a moment. Pure needs to fall back into his base, I feel, though. Is there more reinforcing units coming out for ExionPure? But now with 2 Marauders here, all manages to pick one of the Marauders off. That is going to be huge and force Kino to fall back home. Warp Prism just about to finish up down on the south side of the map here. Without both of those Marauders, he really just does not have the firepower to break through both of these Stalkers. The Marines just don't do all that well in small numbers versus the Stalkers. Warp Prism once again finished up on the south side of the map. That could definitely be used for some counter-harassment, considering there's pretty much nothing back home. Everything's being rallied out across the map. 2 Marauders once again in the army, loses a Stalker to those Marauders. Excuse me. And that's something that he really cannot afford to do right now. Every single unit is so important to ExionPure. We can see that he's not even, oh my goodness, he's actually going for an Immortal down here, not just something like a 4 Zealot Warp In or something to try to pull his opponent back. No, I mean, he's going for the gold here. He's going for pure damage. Finally going to be getting a sentry on the field to be able to force field off this ramp, buy himself a little bit of time. Looks at the gas. Well, obviously the resource is going to be a little bit scarce for ExionPure right now. Both players staying on one base for the moment. So difficult to expand in such a tense situation. Kino heavily committing to this. ExionPure wants to be able to get some aggression in. Oh, where's the force field? We need the force field down on the ramp. There's the force field, but it misses its mark, and that's going to allow Kino to, well, I guess at least soak up a second force field here. This is going to be cleaned up by ExionPure, though. I'm going to be trying to save that Zealot. Does manage to save that one Zealot. The other one does die in that fire. Another pylon going down nearer to Kino's base. Pure going to try to push out of his base, but unfortunately for him, there are some more reinforcing units for Kino coming out across the map. Going to be warping in a sentry and a couple of additional Zealots down here. Once again, this Warp Prism, this Immortal, not really doing all that much, just kind of chilling out, doing their thing. I think almost Pure is kind of forgetting that he has these units down here. In the column before the storm, I would like to make a quick shout out to the sponsors: 70M Gaming, Condemned Custom Controllers, and Quick Tech Computers for supporting the Heartland Esports Association and the Midlands Amateur Esports League. Looks like Kino is going for an alternative attack path here, which is going to be kind of bad for ExionPure because he's going to move out. He's going to see that there's no army here and probably think, oh, he moved out across the map. You know, I'm safe to move a little bit. You know, pardon me, that he might be thinking that he moved back home is what I was going for. Second Immortal is going to finish up here, going to allow him to finally commence these Immortal drops should he finally remember. There we go, going to be warping in Zealots. But in the meantime, these these barracks units are going to be coming up into the main base of ExionPure, and we might just be seeing a little bit of a base race here, as this is actually quite a bit of firepower. There's very little back home to defend, and unfortunately for Pure, all his gateways, obviously, well, all but one of the gateways are going to be back home, and this just, I can't see this ending well at all for ExionPure. Going to be turning his probes on and running them away. Does not have enough minerals to make a Nexus. That's going to be a very big factor here. Warp Prism finally going to be coming into the main base here with those 2 Immortals. In the meantime, the main gateway army going to be pushing in to the front. Probes escaping out across the map. Immortal's not really doing all that much actual damage, really just kind of attacking refiners and a couple of supply depots. Going to be able to take out some barracks units. In the meantime, back in Pure's base, well, not much happening. Cybernetics Core about to fall. Nexus about to fall. Those 2 Immortals are going to get picked up into the Warp Prism. And here comes ExionPure's army running into the main base now. Ooh, it looks like technically, in this case, Kino kind of has an advantage because he can just lift buildings off. But I feel like Pure's army is actually just a little bit better. Needs to make sure not to lose anything to these SCVs. Needs to fall back a little bit, actually, but no, he's going to be losing quite a bit to these SCVs, I feel. And the SCVs are all going to go down, but with the medevac power for the SCVs overhead, they survived really a lot longer than they should have, allowing these Marauders to do quite a bit of damage. Meanwhile, back in the main base, ExionPure, as you're seeing there, has not rebuilt his base. The last couple of gateways are going to fall soon. The Nexus is already down. ExionPure going to be trying to continue to push in here. Going to be lifting up the command center. And Kino just going to pick up and fly away at this point in time. And honestly, Kino could just fly to the edge of the map and force a stalemate if nothing else. But I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to try to land off somewhere and try to get some work done. Try to get some work done here. So now we're kind of in that awkward situation where, oh wow, is that what's that Warp Prism of? Oh, the Warp Prism actually had the Stalkers inside of it, which means that there is a chance that this command center could go down if you could just get it down into the burning category. And yes, that command center probably not going to live, but Pure's forces are a little bit spread out right now, and actually looks like the last buildings for ExionPure, or at least the last hidden buildings, have been found. So Kino going to be able to probably take those out and not really have any repercussions there. The last one of the supply depots here going to go down for Kino. Plenty of supply depots left in the main base. Not that he really has anything to build anything with. Has a huge, just I mean like a horde of buildings here going to be flying out across the map. This command center not quite in the burning. He is going to live to fight another day. He's probably going to be escaping, trying to lay down pylons, I assume, all over the map. Going to want to wait for a little while. Oh, it looks like this is probably going to be the big engagement here. I just don't feel like ExionPure has what he needs to be able to kill off the forces of Kino, especially considering Kino obviously has these medevacs here. Going to turn around and try to fight this, but with the medevac support, that's just not going to work well. Oh, nice warp for the micro there. Going to be able to pick up these units right as they are about to die and keep them alive as long as humanly possible. Actually doing quite a bit of damage against all the odds, but oh, I just don't think he's going to be able to hold that. No, he won't, losing pretty much the last of his real fighting forces. And there's the GG from ExionPure in game number 1. Quite the little basery situation that we had out of both of these players, getting down very, very low. I mean, look, we just had the last few buildings here of Kino sitting over in kind of the fourth, fifth base-ish area, and then just the last few buildings of Pure over in his main base. Very, very close game. Oh, that's the wrong overlay. And we're going to go on, I guess, to game number 2. Of course, this is a best-of-3 series. Kino going to be going up 1-0 over ExionPure for game number 2. Let's see what it has to bring us. Until next time, folks, this is Coffee Break, signing out.